Hey everybody, I am here again. I am attorney Michael Eline, and as you know, I am a injury lawyer. Well, what is that? I'm an injury attorney licensed in California and Texas, and I have been kind of helping out my buddy Chili while he's away on business with his channel, and I have BZ Watchdog here with me, and we have a really cool video that we're going to go through from Here's the Deal about cops that keep getting recycled. And we know that the cop that beat the shit out of Carolina did the judo throw. In fact, I'm just going to let BZ tell you about that one, and then we'll go from there.
Well, what do you want me to tell? I think everybody's heard the faceplant heard around the world. That's what I keep calling it, man. I mean, that's what it is, dude. I mean, it's been covered all over local media. In fact, the civil rights attorney covered it a few hours ago. I don't know if you, I don't know.
He's late to the game. He's late to the game. I've never seen civil rights attorney do a single live show. I don't get it. But
well,
yeah,
that's because what he does is he's like me. He does like all his records requests. He gets all his body cam footage. I don't think he gets his 911 calls. I don't think I've ever heard him do those videos with the 911 call. But we have seen dash cam footage. Somehow he seems to always get the dash cam.
Yeah.
And the body cam footage. So I mean, I don't know who he's got sliding the back. I know he did just get some heat recently for showing up some body cam footage. He kind of exposed the local sheriff's department, and they're trying, and on a story he covered, they actually tried to get his channel demonetized or his video demonetized because saying that he was fitting it to the narrative. So he released another one a couple days ago to recover, basically saying that this is what they're doing, and showed the whole video because they said he was cutting it. He showed the whole video in length, and so I don't know how he's getting the footage, but he always seems to get the footage.
Yeah.
And it obviously pissing some people off, exposing them. Because I mean, cops
I love that
all the time, but cameras don't.
I love that, and you're right. And look, by the way, guys, I'm in no way, shape, or form am I trying to disparage civil rights lawyer. It's funny because I only see video with him, and I loved going live. That's just my personality. I'm a man of the people, and I'm a man for the people. And so I like going live and meeting all you guys and chatting, and that's kind of why it's kind of fun to come on Chili. But absolutely, I think that he's legit. He's a good guy. And I think that he's done a lot of amazing things for this country by exposing bad cops. That's one of the things that I'm hoping that I can do for everybody. Hopefully BZ kind of knows where I'm coming from. I see that there's a rift in this so-called auditor community where like half you guys seem to hate each other. And I'm going to tell you something. That's a mistake. Just because you guys don't all agree with each other, just because you guys might be at odds or have some disagreements on some things. Look, we wouldn't have had an America if our founding fathers didn't form a Declaration of Independence, and they didn't agree on much, but they agreed on salient points. And the key salient points that I think that I agree with all of you guys on is that our government's out of control, that politicians are corrupt, and that the Bill of Rights and our constitutional republic is being converted into a civil law Marxist democracy where mob rules. And politicians love that because if they can just get that extra 1%, then your toothbrush becomes a communal toothbrush. And that's what I don't want. I want you to be able to have property rights. The basis of this country, the founding of this country, the underpinnings of America was based upon property rights. John Locke, Bill of Rights. Start reading the founding documents, start reading John Locke, and start understanding where you come from, because that's the big issue that I have. And if you believe in fundamental, unalienable rights, then you are going to be somebody who believes in government accountability operations. And so I get it. Some of you guys don't like each other, whatever, but you should always present a united front publicly, and then privately argue amongst yourselves. but you look weak when you just bicker and fight amongst yourselves. That's one thing. That's one thing that I respect about the Democrat Party is even though it's completely ripped apart, you've got, the conservative Democrats, the left-wing Democrats, the flag burners, the rainbow flag wavers. Publicly, they always present a united front, whereas Republicans just tear each other's heads off publicly and they just look stupid. So that's probably why they don't hold on to power that long. What do you think, BZ? You were there with me last night at the debates.
You know what? All I can say is somebody might have been fumbling on that stage last night, but man, he sure read those teleprompters today, man. That's all I can really say about those knuckleheads on stage, man. But no, and like, and I just want to let you guys know, I've been trying to bring everybody together since day one. I've been getting flack because I've been reaching out to other auditors, trying to unite the community. It's something John Felix has been working on. Some of other supporters on the back pedal, or I should say the back burner. Like I met DMA in person the other day for the first time.
I saw that. That was awesome.
I was live streaming him, Carolina, Mata, Texas Gal Audits. Even got Brownie in the shot at one point. Bottom line is doing stuff like that is good for morale. It's good to see how people work in front of the camera, in front of other people. But it's a way to help pull our resources together. That's the key thing. Whether you don't agree with the style, okay, like Carolina and Mata are probably a little bit more outspoken and aggressive than I am. Although that's not my style and I may not like that style. That's their style. That's great for them. It works for them. But I don't knock them. I don't publicly talk bad about them. I try to help in any way I can, whether it be networking things, sharing documents or whatnot, because once we get something broke, the easiest way to get it exposed is to share it.
That's right.
I mean, look at this Carolina thing. First, I get the news, I send it to you, you cover it. Here's the deals covering it. Everybody's covering it. The news media is now covering it. So how did that happen? We had to start working with each other, getting information out there.
That's right.
And working with the media and raising hell down at city council. And we can't do that without public outcry and numbers. So, everybody wants to talk about, well, I don't like so-and-so. I don't like, look, I put your differences aside. That's what our founding fathers did. They sat down, they talked about, that's how our government's supposed to be. But obviously our waters have been muddied for the last 150 years. Our forefathers are probably rolling over in their graves. But I just want to make sure that, we all work together. That's it. I don't care if you dislike or don't agree with someone's style. Bottom line, network. What do we got? We got a gifted one membership up there.
No, I'm pointing to you because I agree. When I first came on to YouTube after like 10 years of just giving up on it because of Chili, because he got locked up and we were supposed to go down to Uvalde to help that woman who rescued her kids. And now we know that the Uvalde police are in trouble now. Thank God, those scumbag pieces of shit who tried to arrest that woman, who ultimately escaped from the police and rescued her kids. And her reward was to be thrown in jail, and Child Protective Services came and took her kids away. And so Chili and I were headed down to Texas when that happened. And so that's what motivated me to get into this. And so I got to tell you right now, BZ, when I got on here, I was reaching out to all the auditors. Hey, what's up? How you guys doing? Come on my show. Let me interview you. They're like, oh, you're just trying to get views and likes and you support Chili and you're not part of our auditor community. I'm thinking to myself, dude, I got beat up by a West Covina cop before you were even born, demanding for a copy of his ID and for him to prove that he was an officer. And I have these boot young dudes telling me that I'm trying to like impede on their channel or whatever. And I'm like, dude, when I was doing this, they didn't even have cell phone cameras and they beat the shit out of us. One of my friends got beat so bad, he still has a brain injury. And all we were trying to do is say, we have the right to travel regardless of whether or not we have a license. I won probably 10 or 15 cases, lost a few. but we were fighting infractions and doing administrative actions to try and get them dismissed. All the stuff that you guys think that you know how to do, I was doing back in like the 80s and 90s. And so I was hoping that I could like reach out to all these auditors and form a community to try to help Chili. And what I found is that like half the people hate Chili, the other half don't. You guys all think that you know what you're doing. You all think you know what you're talking about. But at the end of the day, you really don't, because you only have you just have your point of view. And I came on to try and build an alliance because I saw the injustice and what had happened to Chili. And what I found is I would say, I don't know about you, BZ, but what I'm seeing is a lot of these so-called auditors, they're just more concerned about themselves and about how many likes and shares or whatever it is that they're seeking. I don't know what's going on, dude. Like why aren't all the auditors united, bro? What's the problem?
Sometimes I do feel that that's what they're looking for. Cause I mean, okay. So here's the deal. And I hate to coin Brian's term, but I come from years in sales. Cops use it because they've taken sales class. It's just a sales thing. So the deal is this, okay? When you start out, I think you start out for the right reasons, just like politicians. But once you start trying to like earn some money and make some money and try to do this full time, then it becomes about clicks, likes, and views. I'm a clean auditor. I don't go looking for clout. I don't initiate conversations. I've had this talk with you. I've had this talk with Brick Jonesies, who's in the chat room right now, and Let's OTVO. And my whole thing is you've got rules of decorum, rules of engagement. That's what we've talked about. My rules of decorum are I'm going to try to be respectful until I'm not respected. When I go into a place to film, I don't ask for Parmesan. That's what we call permission, because I'm not asking for anything. I just go in. I don't bother anybody. I don't say anything to anybody. I can definitely see in people's body language and eye contact that they start looking a little nervous and start squirming a little bit. And that's okay. I'm not going to sit there and focus on them. And I mean, I might glance at them for a couple of seconds and pan away and look at something else, just like a normal person would walking into a building. Now, I'd say about 65% of the time, it's a good encounter. Somebody will talk to me and I'll be like, okay, like a news reporter, and ask them questions, ask what service they have to offer, and go into it. And, if it's a good encounter, I'll tell them, that everybody on, that's watching this, go and give them a compliment. And obviously if there's not a good encounter, we obviously watch that more because we like the drama on YouTube, but I show the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when I say that, I'm coining that movie, The Good, the Bad, and Ugly, because everybody says, well, you don't show the good, but you show the bad. The good, bad, and the ugly. The reason I show the good encounters, you can shut up now, Mike. So I'm talking here, damn it. I show the good, I show the bad, and the ugly comes out when I do my open records. So, and Mike just saw something that kind of pertains to our topic tonight. He's having trouble displaying it, but I will have it in my video in about 10 days, 12 days. It's a laundry list of bad cops, of bad things they've done where they've been covered up. And if they did get fired by chance, guarantee the city would probably seal that record and let them move on. And Mike, you've seen those.
Oh, you don't have any papers?
So, Mike, I mean, Mike, you were able to briefly look at those charges, or I shouldn't say charges, but those allegations of those officers.
So, guys, I got to tell you guys something. All right. So, I've been practicing law for about 20 years, and I was a paralegal before that. Before that, I was one of the original so-called sovereign citizens. I was the guy who would fight every single traffic infraction. I didn't need a license plate on my car, British West Indies plates, the whole 9 yards, all the stuff you guys probably read about. And I've never met anybody like this. Like BZ is doing high-level lawyer stuff. He's been able to get police records and personnel reports of cops where you can clearly see they've been reprimanded multiple times and then they'll get like a slap on the hand, eventually get fired, get transferred to another force. And it's like, this dude is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm still trying to figure out why he's even wasting his time on YouTube. If he got his bar card, I know that he'd kick my ass in court. What do you have to say about that, BZ?
Well, I mean, I definitely kick your ass in the ring. I don't know about in court, but I know where all your broken bones and scars are. So I know where all your weaknesses are. But I don't, you know what though, but Mike, I don't do it for the money, man. I mean, in all honesty, there's some weeks where I barely get by. Some weeks I get a little ahead, and then there's some weeks I get a little behind. I mean,
so you get a little ahead sometimes, and you don't some other times.
Yeah, it just depends on the flavor of the week, man.
Well, just don't get married because you'll never get it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Might as well just keep baiting her along. That rings in your future. Just keep staying with me. But no, in all seriousness, I don't do it for the money. People say I do it for the clicks, likes, and views. I mean, I got people in my last audit where it was good, clean, and they're like, "Well, there's no drama. This is boring." I post all my content, man. I mean, my content makes money for the clicks. It may not get very much made on it, but it's the truth. It's just like a news story. If it's not a great story, it doesn't get picked up anywhere. It just gets aired and it gets put in a vault and probably never gets looked at again.
So just so you guys know, yeah, he might make like 5 cents or 25 cents for some videos, but the reason why he's doing it and the reason why I got involved long ago before you guys even existed or there was even a YouTube is because I love my country. And I always knew someday I was going to have a family and have kids. And it was instinctive that I wanted to make the world a better place for them. It was just part of having a Marine Corps father who was lied to his country, who went to Vietnam, did 2 tours. And I saw how it just destroyed him as far as his nerves and his mentality, everything, violence, all that crazy stuff. And I just wanted to make the world a better place. Give me a bunch of ones if you're really angry that our government lied to us about the Gulf of Tonkin in order to suck us into the Vietnam War, which is why my father died. My father died from Agent Orange, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, because our government decided they needed to clear foliage from the fire bases. And my dad was in Da Nang, Khe Sanh, Con Tien, Gio Linh, DMZ, every single hill. He was everywhere in Vietnam. And now we know that our government lied to us about Vietnam in order to get us into that war, the military industrial complex. Do me a favor, guys, read a book by Smedley Butler. Smedley, Smedley.
One of the best Marines ever.
Amen. Read that and you'll understand why I love the Marines so much, because although we are considered to be brainwashed and all this stuff, Marines are the most free-thinking individuals you'll ever meet, especially once they're out. And you'll see Lance Corporals filling the billet of a sergeant in the Marine Corps because we're taught to take personal initiative. And when we think there might be shit coming down range, we're taught to think like our senior NCO or XO and figure out what they would do. That's how they train us.
Well, let me give you a better analogy so they can understand it. We're always taught to always make sure that we learn the job above us. So if we're, say, a Lance Cooley, like Mike is talking about, you learn side by side to do that corporal's job, but you also train that private first class how to do your Lance Corporal job. So that way, when the rank goes missing, when somebody gets put out, it keep the 911 ready force, the fighting force of the world keeps moving. We don't stop.
Alan Hubbs,
plug that we don't stop in there because
we don't stop.
Exactly the way the Corps is.
Alan Hubbs says, "Figure it out fast," and that is the Marine Corps mentality. And I guess that's what I wanted to get at with you guys is that's why Smedley Butler and what he has to say in his books really motivate me, because he exposes the military industrial complex. So I really want you guys to take a look at that, read about the Gulf of Tonkin, and then you'll understand why probably nothing's ever going to happen to Donald Trump. And why is that? Because Donald Trump did not release the CIA files about the Kennedy assassination. Because we know who really killed him, don't we? And we know that
it's I'll tell you right now, it's definitely one of them alphabet agencies. I don't want to
it rhymes with LBJ and CIA, but you guys will figure it out someday.
I'm not going to confirm nor deny because I don't want to be taken out next week.
That's right. But I think most people know what's really going on in this world. At least the people who aren't totally brainwashed by CNN and MSNBC or Fox, controlled news. If you really want to know what's going on, read some books by Smedley Butler.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't want to get off topic on the conspiracy theories, but I've done my homework. All you have to ever do is think like a lawyer. If you want to know who really did it, look at means, motive, and opportunity. That's all you have to do. Follow the money, means, motive, and opportunity. That's it.
And we haven't even gotten into the main part of the show tonight, guys. And that's what I love about doing these shows. But so this is about recycling bad cops. And so BZ is going to have a show for you on BZ Watchdog. Make sure to like and subscribe to his BZ Watchdog channel. If you look at his name plate down here, just make sure to like and subscribe.
Mikey B, since I see you're in here as a moderator, I think Let's TV. Can you put my can you go ahead and put my channel in there for the
throw it out there for him. So anyways, make sure to like and subscribe to him because he's going to have this dude is unbelievable. He did these public records requests. So he has like this cop, a bunch of them where they do these bullshit reprimands. They'll get charged with like 50 things and then they'll give them a little slap on the hand for a small thing. But over time they build up and then they fire them or they resign. And then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks later, they're in like Apple Valley or, like Freeport, Illinois, and some, wheat farm somewhere, or a corn on the cob farm, police station. And then they go ahead and do the same thing because narcissists don't stop.
Well, let me tell you this. On one of those records, guys, I just want to tell you, this was an audit that I had to kind of really read the body language. And I'm kind of glad I did with my ability to be able to do that because I left on my own accord because something didn't feel right with these two cops. And when I left, I did the records request. The guy that I really felt, I had that real sense that he wanted to hurt me. Okay. I got his record back. He's used deadly force twice and has been exonerated. Now they cover up a lot of stuff in that town. They cover up a lot of use of deadly force. So I don't know if it was actually justifiable or if it's something that they did and covered up. I'm trying to find those.
Hold on. If he was in prison, wouldn't he get a couple teardrops?
Bro, he would have a teardrop on both sides.
Okay, I just want to make sure because we know that cops like to model themselves after bikers and prisoners now. We've seen that's a new phenomenon, right? Give me a bunch of ones if you notice that, how cops like to look like they're convicts with their sleeve tattoos and joining motorcycle clubs trying to pretend like they're gangster. How do you guys feel about that?
They're the biggest criminals on the face of the planet because they're criminals with badges.
Free Chili, guys. Free Chili says, will Rockstar motivate me? Give me a bunch of ones, guys.
Hey, we got a lot of people in here. I think we could start the...
You ready to start this bad chicken?
Yeah. But before we do, we got to ask about the papers.
Mein Gott, was ist los? Was ist los? Deinen Papieren. Dieses Papieren für dich. Kommen Sie hier, Papieren.
The papers.
Mav, where are they? Oh, you don't have any papers?
Was ist los? Was ist los? Wo ist deinen Papieren? Ach du lieber Geiz, seid Gesundheit. You guys ready for the good stuff? By the way, this is our buddy over at Here's the Deal. So everybody make sure to like and subscribe to Here's the Deal too.
Supporter of our thin blue line heroes. Hell, without them, our society would descend into chaos. Of course, we can trust all cops. They would never abuse their authority and take advantage of the rest of us.
Action News 5 uncovered another case of a Mid-South police officer who left one police department in disgrace only to get hired at another local police agency.
Tonight, that officer is out of 2 jobs and is now banned from being a law enforcement officer in all of Tennessee.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. come to talk with you again.
Another case of a Mid-South police officer who left one police department in disgrace only to get hired at another local police agency.
Anyway, like I was saying, Billy, don't worry about it. If you get caught spitting on burgers over here, the restaurant across the street will hire you. It's no big deal.
And by the way, that's different than the internet trend right now about the poo. I don't know if you heard about the poo internet trend, but that's a little bit different.
Tonight, that officer is out of 2 jobs and is now banned from being a law enforcement officer in all of Tennessee.
All right, now listen up. I just want you all to know that I'm well aware, given the fact that I reviewed all of your background checks, that every one of you have been involved in what we're going to term forklift accidents, where you've injured multiple people, broke company policy multiple times, and over 50% of you actually killed customers in other stores. But we're willing to, Roger, now I need you to listen up, boy. This is serious. We're going to give you all a second, third, fourth, and fifth chance, and our customers will be none the wiser because we're not going to release your public personnel profile.
No, pause that, Mike.
Get out there and knock.
Aye, sir.
No, you're good. And that's why I wanted to bring up those records that I pulled, because exactly what Brian just said is exactly what's happening in the city of Arlington with those records I pulled. So, guys, I've got 4 pages on one person.
Oh, I saw him. Guys, when he does this show, you're going to shit your pants.
I was even like, oh my God, how do they even have a job and aren't in prison? But I just want to let people know that what Brian's saying right now is 100% true. Don't think he's exaggerating, because he's not.
There's over 900 public records available for you right now in Nevada, because they had this citizens review committee that they formed. They rubber stamped all pretty much of IA's decisions. But guess what? That law allowed all of the investigative reports to become public record. Here's the problem. You got to file a public records request, and that costs money, and you got to know how to do it. But guess what, guys? If you're really activists, you will help me fund BZ Watchdog, because he knows how to do it, and he'll do it. What I'm trying to do, guys, honestly, is to form a group of independent. I don't want any money out of this. First of all, I want to form a group of citizen independent journalists who are also activists. And if you guys can help me fund somebody like BZ Watchdog, I know that I will help him pro bono to do the request, but I need help because I've got to support a family too and run a firm. But if you guys really are serious about holding the government accountable, you've got somebody right here to do it. And he's a Marine and he'll do it. And
that's why I really want to talk to Chili when he gets out. So that way, because I know Chili doesn't really do records requests. He's got a lot going on, and
that's right. That's right. He doesn't, dude. You're like, you should actually become a lawyer. But
if we could take his resources and what he's able to do, and raise funds to where I can get these requests paid for and dig these things up. And if we run into any kind of issues where we have to sue to get these things, then we can piece them together. I can put my story together. He can really expose it on his platform, and we can get the word out to the other platforms to have them exposed. Because Chili always says, use my video, get it out, get it around. I'm the same way. YouTube is fair use. If it's a story, run with it. Use my stuff. I'm fairly new in the YouTube world as far as coming out here and having the funding to get these records. So that's why I'm doing my own individual stuff, story by story right now, or little by little, on what I can do on my own.
Hold on. Breaking news. TCRL and LIA just picked up the Caroline story. I Am God just broke that. And that's because of you, BZ. BZ was texting me at like 4 a.m. that same morning going, Caroline got in trouble. And I was like, still waking up going, yeah, well, she's always getting in trouble. And then like a couple minutes later, I looked at the shit that he sent me. I dropped everything. I stopped work for the day and focused my whole day on that. You need people like BZ, guys. Sorry, BZ, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. I know Long Island Audit covered it, but the civil rights lawyer covered it today. What he did is we've been piecing this story piece by piece as like breaking news as we get what I like to call breadcrumbs. As we get the breadcrumb, we run with it. What TCRL did, what John Bryan, the lawyer, did, he pieced everything that's happened throughout the whole week to make one story based on all the work of the information we were able to get out there. I'm not saying that he didn't really do any of the work. He was able to piece it all and do a great job editing it and commentating on it. He's also got a big channel to where he can get the word out. So we do appreciate his efforts and stuff. But he is kind of a little, he is a little late to the party. I mean, and right now, just to let you know, Carolina is live in her car, showing her how bad her eye is. I don't know if you can pull that up on your screen.
Oh, hold on. Let me try to find it.
She's live right now.
I'll try to find it. Hold on.
CFW, Carolina and Fort Worth.
Copy that. Keep on talking.
So, you know, and people are helping her right now with super chats in the live chat. You know, she's gonna have to recover. She's gonna be out of commission here and there. You know, she's not gonna be able to go out as much as she was. But you know, I don't know how her medical bills are going to be right now. I don't know if she's going to have to pay out of pocket. I don't know if her lawyers basically got him on consignment. I don't know, but she has to. She's going to need a little bit of help. So I'm just saying that, you know, if you guys can help her, then that's great. Right now, believe it or not, she's actually got more people live streaming than we do right now.
I believe that. So we're just streaming Carolina Fort Worth channel right now. So a lot of the people here may not even know what's going on. Why don't you tell everybody what happened to her, dude, and why you know?
I'm sorry. Wow, she just got a $100 super chat from someone. That's awesome.
That's good.
Sorry, I'm typing to her right now. I'm a mod on her channel, so.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So everybody, Carolina Fort Worth, she is this real feisty gal in Fort Worth, Texas. And I guess because of Manuel Mata having a problem, he films her and keeps an eye on her. He's sort of like her backup, you know, like if you were in a Marine unit, you know, he'd be like part of her fire team. And I guess this asshole cop pointed a gun at Mata and I guess either forced him to jaywalk or.
No. So I know the story because.
Yeah. Tell us, bro. Yeah.
Okay. So what was going on was they were down on the same area where she was at when she got body slammed. Okay. And So what happened was this cop and Mata have had some sort of run-in before, words exchanged. And so what happened was he was in a group of people crossing this little one-way, two-lane little road in the entertainment district. So what was going on was this guy singled him out because he was filming and tried to stop him for jaywalking when everybody else right next to him was walking. Just singled him out because he had the camera. Okay. Pulls the gun on him and says he's under arrest for jaywalking. And also hits him for, I believe the charge was evading or resisting. Okay. Goes to jail, gets out later that day. And mind you, this is 4 months ago. Okay. Soon as he gets out of jail, the following week or two, he runs into Kruger again in the same area, parked in his car, and goes completely off on him, calling him all kinds of obscenities and how he lies on police reports and basically just calling him out for what he did. You know, it wasn't like Mata was making any false accusations.
Yeah.
And that clown was just there looking at him like smiling, like, oh, so you're calling me a liar? Yeah, he pretty much is. So what we found out within days to a week prior to her getting slammed, all those charges against Mata got dropped. Now, when you got charges getting dropped against you, and that cop, obviously pulled out a gun on you, I'm sure there's some sort of reprimand that follows for excessive force.
Absolutely.
So my feeling on that is that this was kind of retaliation for that reprimand. Because how did he go from 0 like that real quick, and then all of a sudden they're trying to basically hide the footage, conceal it, cover all of this up. The problem is there were too many cameras, and they weren't thinking about the businesses. They weren't thinking that it was going to catch, because they only released some of that body cam footage. And I caught some things that they actually missed when they released it. So I already know that one female, the white girl with the blonde hair and the glasses, shut her camera off because I can see her messing with her camera multiple times while Kruger's still cuffing her.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've requested records on both those females so that way I can find out which one it is and find out if it's a history that she's got some other sort of disciplinary action.
And she probably does.
Department.
Now in California, you could file a pitchess motion, but Texas doesn't have a similar, neither does Nevada. It's really weird.
I'll tell you right now, she's blowing it up over there, guys. I mean, she's getting them super chats. Just keep in mind,
isn't this the same place where she got body slammed?
Yes, this is her video, in fact.
Oh, okay, got it.
So I don't know if you want to turn up the volume for maybe they haven't seen it. I don't know.
Please register upon parking. Who do they register with? Okay, here it says. Here's a sign.
Because this is about the time where everything's about to go down after she leaves the sign.
This is what the sign says. I got to scratch so let me focus in. Here's what the signs say. The signs say, validated parking. Please register upon parking. Business can then validate parking for Folk Street warehouses. Ways to validate. You can scan the QR code or text pay. Failure to pay or extend time may result in boots. Okay, so how do they know if they paid or not? That's what I want to know. How do they know if they paid or not? How do you know if they paid or not? How do you guys know if they paid or not? Oh, they're going to ignore me too. Help, rape, fire, 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 fire.
So just really quick, guys, that by her saying rape, fire, after she got the shit beat out of her by this scumbag cop, they actually charged her for saying that. So just so you know,
well, and I want to make out a comment. Okay,
yeah.
Even if you didn't know Carolina like I do, and we've had her on your channel doing a reaction. Okay,
yeah.
She's a very people might want to call her names and all kinds of stuff. She goes a million miles a minute. That's just how she is. She's very energetic. She's a very sweet lady. She cares about people.
That's what I think.
The fact that she's trying to get these ladies' attention, you can hear the inflection in her voice that she's joking, trying to get their attention. Now, if there was an actual false alarm or any kind of panic, obviously those two female officers would have turned around and addressed it.
Of course. Clearly she was jesting.
That's great community relations too.
Nice tattoo.
How do you know if they paid or not, ladies? Hey, ladies. Hey, Kruger. No, I'm not going to before. There's no nothing.
You can go to the other side of the street. You're going to get arrested. I'm not warning you again.
What are you talking about?
Go to the other side of the street right
Why?
now.
Wait, tell me why first.
We're doing an
You're under arrest. You're not.
No, I'm not under. Okay, you go.
Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
She's bleeding.
Yeah. So you get it, right?
Well, I mean, now
Where are the papers, Mav? Where are they? Oh, you don't have any papers? Choose a consequence and come with you.
Now, back to Brian's video for a second.
Yeah.
Did he cut on this video? Did he cover the body cam and the on the store mode from after that clip?
Now, Sally, don't you dare let the power of the forklift go to your head this time, girl. But hey, if you do, don't worry. There's always forklift immunity you can fall back on.
He's proudly posted a picture of
Freaking
Officer
hilarious.
Mario Pre when he graduated from the academy in 2022.
Oh, DeMario Pre. I wonder if he's a relative of Tua Pre or whatever.
He said, "Oh, whatever." I said that all the time.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
No, heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure it's heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Anyway, back to Officer Pre.
2 weeks ago, the Olive Branch Police Department proudly posted a picture of Officer Pre when he joined OBPD.
Don't be a psychopath. Don't be a psychopath. Don't be a psychopath.
And unlike Mario Pre doesn't work for either agency anymore, and he will never be a police officer in Tennessee again.
You became a psychopath anyway. Or were you a psychopath before you put on the clown uniform? Okay, class. Time for the psychological question of the day. Do cops become psychopaths, or do psychopaths rather become cops?
I agree with that last
Get way
statement.
too close and wander down the psychopath. There you go. Another YouTube dumbass confirmed. Everybody knows it's not psychopath. It's psychopath. You know, like psychopath.
Here's former Collierville police officer DeMario Pre standing next to Collierville Police Chief Dale Lane at Pre's graduation from the police academy, November 2022.
Welcome to the Colliersville Thin Blue Line Gang Unit, Officer Pre. We're going to give you unbridled authority and unquestioned power over the members in our community. Power ain't going to have no corrupting influence on me. You can trust me with a badge. Almost as if to say, I loves people. You can see it in my beady little eyes. You want to protect and serve the crap out of people, don't you? Admit it. Admit it.
Welcome, everybody, to the Tennessee Post-Commission informal hearing.
And here is Thursday's Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission hearing in Nashville, where Pre was decertified. The only reason cited, he resigned with disciplinary actions pending. Collierville police won't say what happened, but Action News 5 confirmed Pre left CPD in the spring and resurfaced at the Olive Branch, Mississippi Police Department. Here's Pre 2 weeks ago, being welcomed to OBPD by Mayor Ken Adams.
Welcome to the Olive Branch Police Department, Officer Pre. We know you did some really bad stuff over there in Colliersville, buddy. But we feel like it's a wise move to give you a badge, a gun, and qualified immunity. And we're going to cross our fingers and hope nothing goes wrong. Oh, and by the way, just to let you know, to add a little psychotic deception to this thing we like to call law enforcement, we're going to slap a patch on your shoulders displaying a peaceful dove carrying an olive branch. Ain't she a purty bird? Well, community members won't know it, but for us, this doesn't symbolize peace as in the tranquil state of freedom from disturbance. Oh, no. It means you're going to take a piece of their hide if they don't immediately comply with your tyrannical commands. That's how we run things here in Olive Branch, Mississippi.
After Thursday's post-hearing,
Mario Pre, Collierville. Mario Pre.
which Pre did not attend, Olive Branch Mayor and Police Chief Bill Cox released the following statement. Effective immediately, DeMario Pre is no longer employed by the Olive Branch Police Department. Personnel matters are not discussed by the Olive Branch Police Department nor the city of Olive Branch.
In order to give you the full flavor of the contemptuous mindset cops have toward the rest of us, let's just break down this little public statement by a public servant about a uniformed public clown who did something so bad they felt like they had to decertify him in an entire state. Let's get to the bottom of what they're really telling the public in this custom-tailored, politically correct public relations release. Effective immediately. DeMario Pre did something so embarrassingly bad, we had to let him go. But we did it behind the blue line dust cloud of silence. All the questions you have about the disciplinary action of one of our privileged thin blue line gang unit members that led to his decertification is none of your flippin' business, you sniveling peon slugs.
Pree's absence at the post hearing was never explained, though he was well aware it was taking place.
It was originally set last month, and he said he had a family watching a family member that was sick, wanted to this month, and he knew about today. I contacted him a couple of days ago, and he's not present at the moment.
The commission even moved his hearing from second on the agenda down to the very bottom to give him more time to appear, but he was a no-show. Despite that,
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
the post commission voted to decertify Pree.
The way I see it, no tax-funded public entity should be allowed to withhold any part of the truth.
Ever.
What did this guy do that made the entire state not want to hire him as an officer? In cases involving decertification, we know that there are usually victims, sometimes a lot of victims. So who are they? What was the heinous act that precipitated this decommissioning? And when did these violent acts happen to his possible victims? I know a lot of you feel this same way, but it is absolutely unacceptable and maybe even criminal that a department can decline to comment on the indiscretions of an officer who is not only disciplined, but decommissioned and decertified. Police departments are public entities and cops are public servants. Therefore, the actions of every cop is open to the public scrutiny of all people at all times. That there exists a wall of protection should let you know that they've got a lot to hide. This guy didn't even show up to his decertification hearing. Here's the infuriating thing. While former officers like Pree may be barred from becoming a cop in one state, there's still a possibility that a department in another state will be more than willing to overlook the likely criminal activity of these kinds of troublemakers and subject their own people,
Mike,
their own community.
Hold on. I think I know what you're going to say.
Has anybody let him know there's an opening at Fort Worth PD, or at least there's
Oh, shit. Hey, here's the thing, though. Look, cops get fired from departments all the time, not necessarily decertified. So you could be a Texas cop and just get moved from Houston maybe to Austin or something like that. I mean,
bro, you remember that cowboy cop of mine where I made him look bad? 5 departments in like 10 years.
What?
Yeah. I tracked him from Fort Worth PD to a county near Fredericksburg to 4 different departments in the Houston area. So I'm sorry, 6 departments in 10 years.
Let me give you another truth about Chili DeCastro, because I know people are, he doesn't know he's blah, 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 blah. So, you know how he always says, cops are just uncannily famous for beating their wives, right? Well, we know that the one public records request that they tried to conceal that was released to the public in Nevada had to do with a Nevada cop who was trying to have his wife assassinated because there was a divorce proceeding, and IA got a hold of that. And of course, the Nevada police tried to cover that up and say there was still an active investigation, even though the investigation had been over for like 2 years, right?
Mike, so what about the record I uncovered with that one that we were talking about tonight? They literally covered up that 3rd-degree felony domestic and called it unbecoming to knock it down to a written reprimand.
Right. And so when I got beat up and pulled out of my Jeep Cherokee while I was managing a Bally's Total Fitness in West Covina by Officer Millison, when I ultimately sued him and got the 148 charges dismissed while I was not even a lawyer, what we found in discovery was really interesting. That Officer Millison, of course, was going through a divorce with his wife, and there were allegations of abuse. And so I was just like, wow, I just thought of that right now. It seems like there is almost like this. It's kind of like, you can't have a chocolate chip cookie without the chocolate chips. I'm just seeing that the same thing keeps happening over and over again. There seems to be this thing with police abusing women. And I wanted to know what you had to say about that in light of the fact that Kruger just beat the shit out of your friend.
Well, it's maybe he's not married, so he takes it out on citizens. I mean, it's obviously an anger comes from a place of some sort of envy. Brick Jonesy and I talk about this all the time. Maybe the cop's mad that Carolina's out there with a camera making money and doing good. He's not doing good, and he's on his last freaking rung on the ladder on the way out. I don't know. I mean, all I know is I don't think good people. Well, I don't think there's really such thing as a good person on the police department. Their mentality gets changed. But like Brian says, a psychopath, because not a psychopath. Join, a lot of psychotic nuts, serial killers, either join the force or try to join the force.
Right, like that guy.
Like that guy right there. Now the ones that do. Now there's two types. There's two types of crazies that apply to the department. There's ones that are crazy enough and able to lie and get through, and there's the two where they can't lie well enough and they don't get on, and they start committing these heinous crimes for a while because they think like a cop and can move around, and eventually it'll catch up to them. But it may be 40 years later through DNA and database and patterns and everything else. I mean, look at our serial killers and stuff. That we're working real close to the police.
True,
but we're eventually caught. Those were people that tried out for the police department.
BZ, I just think they like asking questions like this.
Where are your papers? Where are they?
You don't have any papers?
Papers?
So you guys, I got to tell you guys something. Okay, so I got to share this with you. So I'm a lawyer. I get up about 4 a.m. I work on briefs, and I take my son to judo and do all that dad stuff. But I really look forward to the times that I get to hang out with BZ. This guy is one of the funniest, most entertaining guys you'll ever run across. And he's a worker. This guy does public records requests. I've never seen anybody. Wait until you see on his channel the stuff that's coming up next week. I mean, you're going to be blown away.
And that's my self-defense products company, LLC, that I.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Wait.
For people that try to sit there and say that I don't have a job, I don't work. Okay, look. Right there. It's got my, right there. President, owner, CEO, blah, blah, blah. In fact, Mama Lion has actually bought some products from me. She's in the room. I just saw her come in. You can ask her. She bought 3 separate stun gun devices. And that's the kind of stuff I sell. I do cater a lot of the self-defense products to the ladies. I do sell knives and other like outdoor and fishing stuff. But I also drive Uber. How do you guys think I find a lot of this stuff out there? I'm making money while I'm out there driving. So, I tell you guys, I don't make money on YouTube. It's peanuts compared to what you think that YouTubers actually make.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just share something with you. I have almost 9,000 followers, and I have some videos that have 10, 15,000 views, whatever. I think I make 50 cents a month or something. So I'm doing real good. I'm sure BZ is doing even better, but we do this because it's our passion.
YouTube lies. They say you make a penny to 3 pennies per view. I don't even think I'm making a penny a view. So
I made more money off selling one of my ebooks on how I became a lawyer with a law degree than I got off of YouTube. But hold on, Guy. Check this out. So Rights On is saying 40% of cops hit their wives. I think it's actually higher than that.
It is actually higher. If you go to deletelaws.com, he actually has where you can download free the Mullen Commission report, where they actually did a report, and it shows that about 2/3 of officers beat their significant others. So
Rabbit Hole is asking, what the F am I watching? So why don't you explain that? And then Gloria Ad, thanks for coming.
What are we watching, Rabbit Hole? Us going down the rabbit hole about bad cops.
Hey, Rabbit Hole, shut your freaking cake hole there, yo.
It's not a cake hole, it's a rabbit hole.
It's a rabbit hole. Mikey B says 60% of cops hit their boyfriends. Yeah, you're confusing the U.S. Navy with cops. Come on, man.
Well, same thing. They're they try to act tough.
Let's OTVO. I'm just joking. I know you were part of the Strait Department, but come on, Navy, really?
Hey, Mike, you know what they call 800 sailors on a ship, right? 400 couples.
Oh God, that's terrible. That is terrible. Jiminy Christmas. Well, hold on. I want to give everybody some recognition. I want to thank everybody for showing up. So I just want you to understand something. BZ Watchdog and I are donating our time to try to help Chili's channel and bring attention to our cause. So we're here. We're not charging anything. We're just doing it for free.
Yeah, we're not getting paid for this. I mean, hell, I barely get paid for my own channel. Shit.
We don't get paid for anything. We're doing it because it's our passion.
Call it therapy.
And we like each other because BZ makes me laugh. And that's one, hey, once you get married and have kids, guys, your life's pretty much over. So any chance you get to laugh, take it. Okay.
Now I know why I haven't lost my sense of humor. I'm not married.
Yeah, that's right. You bring back memories of when I still had freedom. It's such an amazing thing.
I've actually had women leave because they said I wasn't serious enough.
I have a problem. Every time I go to the gym, every chick's hitting on me and I'm like, sorry, I'm married. Let's check it out. Okay. So Derek Blackmore says, I like both of your opinions. I appreciate that, Derek. And we appreciate you guys showing up. And we appreciate everybody in the sidebar showing up because without you guys, it's going to be a pretty boring show.
I want to comment on Derek's. You know what? The thing. You know why he likes our opinions? Because opinions are like a-holes. Everyone's got one they stink. So it takes one to know one. I can be a big a-hole sometimes. So with that being said, it's just you just got to have a little fun. You can't be blind. You got to keep an open mind. You got to keep a lively sense of humor and perception, or you go down the rabbit hole, and you end up going to that little dark, miserable funk, and I don't think anybody really enjoys being there, to be honest with you.
Well, Light Warrior asks, is Chili out yet? And no, he's not out yet, but you guys will be the first ones to know.
Dude, I'm this close to storming the castle, man. I can't wait 12 days, man. It's like, I'm not close.
If anybody's really interested, in celebrating when he finally gets out, why don't you guys reach out to BZ Watchdog? Because he's going to be released into Vegas. I mean, it's Vegas, baby. So why don't you come out and we'll have a party for him? If you guys are really serious about it, let's do it. Now, Lenny Malley says they're making Chili a less, maybe. You never know, Lenny, but remember, martyrs, when you make martyrs out of people, it causes trouble for the people who think, like, look what happened to Trump, right? I mean, we know all Biden's politically connected buddies at the state level are charging him with crimes. And of course, they're all Democrat run cities and they're convicting him because they're partisan. And so the other half of the population is going, well, that's political. Now I'm definitely voting for Trump. And the swing voters are saying that. They're going, well, that's political. It's obvious that they're targeting him for political purposes. The only reason, look, they let this dementia patient out who had the same kind of charges for stolen documents or whatever. They didn't do anything to him. They said he's incompetent to stand trial, but yet he's competent enough to be the president. So you see how they protect their own, right? So, the administrative state looks after its own people. When you make martyrs out of people and throw them in prison, throw them in jail, it makes people like them more. And so the best thing to do when someone is persecuting when you're persecuting someone is to leave them alone. Because once you persecute someone, you make a martyr of them. That's the lesson. Give me a bunch of ones if you understand what the hell I'm talking about.
I agree, because he's become a political prisoner. I'll tell you right now, the fact that you got a biased judge that incarcerated that man to deprive him of his rights, not just the First Amendment. Everybody thinks that, but you've deprived that man of his Fourth Amendment right. When he comes out, if you don't think he's going to be more pissed off than he was before he went in, you guys are sadly mistaken. He is literally going to be hammering away at the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department so bad that he'll probably be within 5 feet putting a camera in an officer's face and they won't be allowed to touch him. And that'll make him more dangerous to those guys. Because there won't be no, okay, I'll take a step back. I'm 20 feet away. It'll be, what? What are you going to do? What do you do? Lawsuit. I will sue you. You know, it's, you know, we all know how Chili gets. So.
Well, yeah, because hello is for suckers.
Hello's for suckers. Well, if you ask Biden, he'll tell you that Trump says that World War I cemetery veterans are for suckers and losers.
Well, if you ask Biden, I think the people that he likes to put in charge would ask you things that are probably more like.
Did you hear what? The papers?
Where are your papers, Mav? Where are they? Oh, you don't have any papers?
Unless, of course, you're an illegal alien, and then you get to stay in a luxury hotel at taxpayer expense, and you get to rape and murder all the local population and have at it, because guess what? Your government's not going to do anything to stop it. Anyways, let's see here. We got Light Warrior says Chili needs to drop his attorney. Well, here's the thing, Light Warrior. Chili's got a lot of attorneys, and you know, like one of my ex-girlfriends used to tell me before I found her cheating on me, you have different friends for different purposes.
So you got
that one right. You got that joke, didn't you?
Just like Garth Brooks says, man, you got friends in low places.
You have different friends.
They're all lawyers because they're bottom feeders.
Yeah. You have different friends for different purposes. And I'll just be honest with you guys. Like, I only handle catastrophic injury cases myself. And if I have any kind of blowback or feedback or any kind of, like, if I feel I'm not going to have client control, I won't represent that client. So I'll let you read through the lines. Certain people can't be controlled and they want to be in charge. The difference between me and most lawyers and most people on the planet is that just because I can't control somebody and can't represent them doesn't mean that I can't do other things to help them. And I can still represent paperwork type stuff, but if it's a capital case or a felony or something like that, and my client's life is on the line and he wants to go out and film cops when he should be in bed with a brain injury, that's not a case that I can help with from a catastrophic injury perspective. But it doesn't mean that I can't support the cause and the movement. And, you know, I've been in business for over 20 years now, and I can get referrals and stuff from other people. I don't need to rely on YouTube to get cases. I'm here because I'm an activist and I want to help people like Chili and BZ and Carolina, Fort Worth, because I have kids and I want to leave this country a better place for them. And that's just the truth.
Well, and somebody asked me about commenting on it, whether it's hurting or case or not. I said, I'm not going to be commenting on that. So,
yeah. Well, I'll just say is a general proposition. If you're in a bad car accident, the insurance company is going to do what's called Subrosa. Well, they'll follow you around, and if they see that you're going to the gym or you're out doing stuff in public, your case just went from a $20 million case to maybe a $20,000 case.
Yep. So my lawyer always told me, make sure you don't do anything stupid. And before you do it, call me.
Well, the problem is with me is, there's handyman lawyers who will take on any kind of case there is. Oh, hey, if you don't take my case, then I'm not going to. So my position is, and I've told people this before, I make my money from the cases that I don't take, because when I get bogged down with a bunch of cases that are, what do they call that? A quest for the client that don't generate money for the firm. In other words, don't allow me to be able to cover overhead and cover my staff. That's going to put me in bankruptcy court. And so over the years, I've been able to determine quickly which cases are going to be a personal crusade for my client, as opposed to a case that's going to generate money. And it's sadly, to be a lawyer in this country, just like to be a doctor, you have so many licensing fees, overhead, this and that. And that's why I keep offering you guys on the Michael Lee Line channel. If I can get some of my paid subscribers to attend, my goal was to teach you guys the law. I want to teach people how to become a lawyer without law school, because I want you guys to be able to handle your own cases. Because look, I handled most of my cases pro bono before I became a lawyer. I relied on Balistrary versus Pacifica Police Department, because pro se litigants, a court of appeals have a duty to ensure that pro se litigants don't lose a fair hearing on the merits of a case due to the ignorance of technical or procedural requirements. Ninth Circuit, and yeah, I can memorize case law pretty much verbatim. I have a photographic memory, and all that stuff. And that made me a really good lawyer. But guess what, guys? You don't have to have all that. You can come on my channel like once a week. I could do a course. We could start out with contracts, torts, and criminal law. I also have a book about how I became a lawyer with no law degree or undergrad, and then eventually got a law degree after I was already a practicing attorney. And I'm not saying these things because I want to brag. I'm saying these things because you could do it too. You could do the same thing. I'm licensed in Texas and California now. And I help people with catastrophic car accidents because that's the guys that I studied law under. That's what they did. So I got good at it. So I'm a pro at it. So when one of you guys calls me and says, hey, I got this case, that case, it's not in my wheelhouse, I can't take that case, guys. I'm sorry. I just can't. But I could try to help you find a home for it. But when you have a really big catastrophic injury case and you come to me and say, hey, I had a tight handcuffs case, my hand got amputated, this and that, the first thing I'm going to be telling you, okay, you do not go outside your house for the next 12 months, period. That's the first thing I tell my client. And so just like you guys are professional auditors, what I do is I'm a professional lawyer. And if you want to win your case and be able to survive in this current justice system, you have to follow my advice, because I know more than you. I'm better than you at what I do. So just listen to me. Anyways, I don't want to get too far into it, but I wanted to explain, like, I can't take all your cases, guys, but it doesn't mean that I don't support you. It doesn't mean that I don't love you. And it doesn't mean that I don't support your cause. What it does mean is that I have enormous overhead in order to maintain a law practice. And if I take on, and I do pro bono cases that I don't share with you, and those are very personal to me. People,
yeah, and I can vouch for that. I know of at least one that we've discussed, but I'm not going to go into it.
And those are very personal to me, and I also don't advertise what I do because I don't want millions of people. I get so much prison mail already, guys.
Why? Because it's all from Chile? No, I'm just kidding.
No. I get so much. I get prison mail because convicts know who I am, and I get so many. I get so many letters. It's so hard for me to read.
Chile's giving you a bunch of referrals.
No, it's not. Has nothing to do with Chile.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
California state prison stuff. I mean, it's hardcore, guys, and I get so much prison mail that it makes me sick to my stomach sometimes, where I can't even work the next day. So I just want you guys to know, I am also an activist, and I also have to feed my family. So yeah.
Hey, actually, I want to go back to Matthew Kruger for a second.
Yeah.
You talk about recycled. I'm actually reading this civil case.
Yeah.
And I want to, can I read this one, like this part right here? So when he's talking about the background, he goes into the background. It says, plaintiff was employed as a police officer with the city of Irving, Texas, until he was indefinitely suspended by the city of Irving Police Department Chief Larry Boyd on April 23rd, 2013. This action stemmed from not just one, but two use of force internal investigations conducted by the city of Irving Police Department. So it goes more into it about. So in other words, it wasn't just one investigation; it was a second time for to include the Irving use of force policy, reporting use of force policy, and conduct unbecoming an officer, which we saw in somebody else's disciplinary action that didn't go, inappropriate use of arrest, authority, policy for dismissing cases, and also the city's policy for maintaining a competent level of performance. And I'm just kind of reading into that was pretty much the last part of that. So The hearing examiner noted the decision that the only source of truth used to support the city's allegation that plaintiff misrepresented the material facts surrounding the arrest. So in other words, he lied on his police reports.
And this is what cop is this again?
Matthew Kruger with the other department prior to Fort Worth.
So before Matthew Kruger,
2 investigations, which he lied on the reports.
and this is the guy who beat the shit out of Caroline.
That's correct. And remember, he used his pistol on Manuel Mata for jaywalking, and then he slams her. So
Well, didn't he ask Manuel Mata a question like,
Where are your papers, Mav? Where are they? Oh, you don't have any papers? To the consecrated Cowboy.
Isn't that what he asked him?
Well, I don't think he had a chance to ask him. I think they just went right down to the face plant. Or
Dude,
I'm sorry, the concrete camp.
Dude, this cop straight up pointed a gun at Manuel Mata as he's crossing the street for jaywalking.
And then hit him for evading.
And then hits him for evading. Charges get dismissed. In Carolina, her reward is to get her face smashed in.
Less than a week later.
I 1000% agree. I've already reached out to several other local lawyers out there, and I'm doing some additional research, anticipating that at some point there's going to be a federal investigation. This is a big deal. This is huge. Yeah.
So I just want to make you guys aware of that, because we thought it was probably just one use of force. But
thanks, Hicks History. We got a super chat. Thanks, Hicks History for supporting Chili. I appreciate everybody supporting Chili DeCastro's channel. Please make sure to like and subscribe and share his channel. He's going to be out pretty soon. Make sure to buy some cop cards or whatever you can get your hands on. Go ahead, BZ.
I don't know. How did I miss that? I didn't see it in my little chat. Oh, it must have been a ways back.
Yeah, Hicks History.
What's that?
Hicks History is his name. I put it up there at the top for you to look at it.
Hickory. I know. It must have been a while back because I don't see it in the chat feed, so that's why I was looking. But yeah, so I mean, obviously Matthew Kruger is just a nightmare for the residents of Texas.
Absolutely. Well, a nightmare for any freedom-loving Texan. I mean, the guy looks like a complete psychopath based upon the that interview that Mata did with when he was in his cruiser. He has crazy eyes.
Well, and the street that she got slammed on is called Fox Street. It's F-O-C-H. It's pronounced Fock. So you're gonna get fucked on that street. It's just like meet the fuckers, you know?
Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, so we got an opportunity to watch a little bit of Here's the Deal, and we got to see that recycling cops, when they're decertified, is one thing where they'll just go to another state and get certified there. But it's entirely another thing where a local municipal PD or sheriff's department just, quietly lets you go. And then all of a sudden you show up over at Fort Worth and doing the same crap over there. And so BZ is getting really good at exposing these people, digging up the public records.
Hey, you got Avery Flowers that says they tried to contact you about your price for a case in Texas. And has a video. So I made a comment that says, email me, send me the video, so that way I can make sure I forward it to you.
Yeah, please. So also, guys, just so you know, so I'm having some problems with both my websites. If anybody's a webmaster and you know how to use UTheme, which is the theme that I use on WordPress, please reach out to me, because I'm having some trouble with my contact forms. I'm having some like 405 timeouts or 504 errors. I can't remember. But yeah, so if anybody can help me, normally I do all my own stuff because I am a webmaster myself, but I've been donating all my free time to YouTube, and I haven't really had a chance to fix all these errors. So if there's anybody who can help me, I'd appreciate it. But reach out to BZ Watchdog for now.
Well, because what I also can do is if I get some of the information, I can get the police report back and records and things going before you decide whether you take on the case or not. So I can
Yeah, so BZ officially is an investigator for the firm. So anything that you share with him would be confidential if it's between me and the office. And, even if I can't help you with your particular matter, I'll try to find a home for it. Just know that I can't take every case, and that right now our firm is really geared towards like motorcycle accidents and big rig truck accidents and stuff like that. But if you have a tight handcuff case, or if you have a clear liability case, like baton injury, between me and Alan Beck, I could bring in Alan as Pro Hawk and until we can get him his Texas bar card, and he could help me as well. As a general rule, I don't like going federal. I like state court. And there's just so many things that you guys don't know. You just assume, oh, you're a lawyer, you can take my case. And that's just not how it works. Those guys are like bottom feeders in my profession. A guy who takes any case is a bottom feeder. In my profession, the top of the food chain are the specialists. Similar to like in the biker community, you have like the 1%ers. In the personal injury community, you have the top 1%, like a Gary Dordick or a Michael Hughes. And these are the kind of guys that I studied under. So I learned from those guys. So it'd be like, the difference between the Marine Corps and the Air Force is all I could tell you.
Air Force.
Yeah. If you want to have a jack of all trades who just takes every case, I'm not the guy. But if you have a serious catastrophic injury case, I am the guy. And then the stuff that I do for my activism, I don't need any more of those leads because that's free. And I get plenty of prison mail for those cases. And those are the only cases that I'll do pro bono. And I won't do many of them because I've almost lost my practice from working for free. And you've got to be able to
as soon as Mike gets done, I have 3 cases here for him. So
yeah. So just know that even if I can't take it, I'll try to help you find a place for it. And it may not be me calling you back 24 hours a day because I can't. I do depositions. I constantly am in mediations, flying around to different states. I do cruise ship law. I help draft portions of the Cruise Ship Safety Act for Kendall Carver from the International Cruise Victims. I've lobbied Congress multiple times. And that was because, the cruise industry, they obviate skirt all of our tax laws. They get free everything from, our Coast Guard and all of our administrative agencies, the ports, but yet they'll hire people from third world countries who molest and rape children and then fly them off the ship on a helicopter. What's that?
Breaking news. Would everybody in the chat like to see a live stream traffic stop in Texas?
Definitely. Go to BZ.
Go to Chuck Bronson's page right now and pull it up.
All right. Want me to do that? Hold on.
Yeah, pull it up. Might as well show everybody the live stream.
All right. Let me see if I can find it.
Just put in Chuck Bronson. They got a live one, and he's out there on the side of the road.
Let's do it, bud.
Filming this traffic stop.
Stand by.
Should have them ask if they got a trifold.
Oh my God. Yeah, we need a trifold. What the hell?
Look at the comment section in his chat.
This is Harris County, Houston, Texas. Harris County Sheriff's Department.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Would you like to end the live stream and have everybody just go over to Chuck Bronson's channel?
I think everybody should go to Chuck Bronson's channel. Me and BZ are wiped out. I mean, this has been one of the roughest weeks I've had. So, yeah, you go to Chuck Bronson's channel. I really appreciate everybody showing up. This has been a really rough week. I do encourage you guys to like and subscribe to Carolina and Fort Worth's channel. I really think that she's got brass balls, and you know, I have a lot of respect for that lady, and I hope that she stops auditing and gets to the best brain surgeon there is in the country. That's all I have to say about that. I hope she stops auditing until she gets to the best brain surgeon there is and does what her lawyer tells her to do. And she gets the best one there is, because I think that what happened to her is, if that was my sister or that was my mom, I would be in prison for life. That's all I have to say about that. Now, everybody, let's OTVO. Thanks for showing up. I am God. Thank you so much for all your cool comments. Polly Walnuts, thanks for showing up again. Hicks Hickory, thanks for the super chat for chili. I really appreciate that. Everybody and anybody who wants to investigate getting these 900 plus personnel records from the Nevada Citizens Review Board, with the help of BZ Watchdog, help me set up a trust if possible, to where, you know, I'll do the accounting for free to make sure, if you need me to make sure that we can start holding public servants accountable, not just with a bunch of stupid videos to get clicks and likes, but to get the records, to get their personnel files, and to start doing real journalism, not just like shock stuff, but really make change for this country. You know, what motivated me to be a lawyer was that I could hold my government accountable. And yeah,
all right, let's close it out, man. We're losing.
Got expensive
close
and
it
all
out.
that, but we're going to
Close it out
close this
with
bad
Matt.
chicken out. Go over to Chuck
Close it-
Bronson.
Close it out with
Make sure to
Matt.
like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because you
Close-
never know when the
close it
thought
out with
police.
the papers.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, because you never know when the thought police are going to shut down
Or
this
the
channel.
papers police show up.
And you got to make sure you got your
Where
papers.
are your papers, Mav? Where are they? Oh, you don't have any papers?
So I guess that's pretty much it then, right, BZ?
Yep, that's it, man. We'll figure out a show either tomorrow or Monday or Sunday or whatever, but we'll figure something out.
Get over to Chuck Bronson's channel. Semper Fi, do or die, like, subscribe, thought police, all that good stuff. Tip, cheerio.